Hallo, hallo. So, ich höre mich. Ist denn überhaupt schon jemand da? Hey, Molle! Alter Raver. Ich mach nur Spaß. Junger Raver. Ja, hier ist ja auch richtig viel Trance-Musik. Ich würde allerdings sagen, wir warten noch ein kleines bisschen, ob noch jemand kommt. Weil das ist ein Spiel, bei dem man, glaube ich, ein bisschen aufpassen muss und wo man dabei bleiben muss. Da könnt ihr oder im Moment, da kannst du mir dann helfen, wenn es darum geht, Hinweise miteinander zu verstricken. Es ist auch wieder ein Full-Motion-Video-Spiel, das allerdings ein bisschen anders funktioniert als Erika. Ich habe es schon mal ein bisschen angespielt. Wir sind wohl so eine Art Therapierer und wir haben mehrere Kunden, glaube ich. Also zumindest dachte ich, dass es so funktioniert und ich habe es mal ein bisschen angespielt, ich habe aber keine Ahnung mehr, was es damals gab. Und das ist wahrscheinlich ein Spiel, das können wir heute in einem Rutsch durchspielen. Was nicht heißt, dass wir danach wissen, was die Story eigentlich ist. Ja, der Titel ist auch tatsächlich das, was mich damals dazu gebracht hat, den Titel zu kaufen. So, in diesem Sinne, ich würde mal einfach sagen, Moment, was ist denn Help? Ask questions, schweres Wort, questions. Try and help your patients and find the root of their problem. If nothing else, it may uncover the motives you're looking for about the murder. Also, die müssen wohl irgendeinen Mord aufklären. Playback the patient's previous responses. What have you missed? Ah, das ist immer schön. Wir können noch mal was zusätzlich machen. Also wir können hier die immer wieder angucken, was sie geantwortet haben. Take note. Don't forget to check your notes. You might be surprised what you find there. Okay? Hey, Weppy. Hi, Ayla. Examine evidence. Is there anything to ask based on the evidence you come across? Traffic light systems. Patients start out red and turn yellow when you've revealed everything. You need to move on the next act. You can keep questioning to find all their responses and turn them green. To get green, you're going to need to type. Okay, ich glaube, ich hole mal schnell mein Keyboard dazu. Also Weppy, ich habe vor, das Spiel direkt durchzuspielen, wenn es klappt. Also ich habe es damals auch nur an einem Tag durchgespielt und ich habe alles wieder vergessen. Ich habe keine Ahnung, worum es geht da drin eigentlich. Use keywords. You can use just keywords or full questions to speak to your patient's questions as general are generally better, as you may find more responses that way. Dekker will look to see if a patient has anything to say about Dr. Dekker in general. Did you like Dekker or did you kill Dekker might reveal something else entirely. Be specific. Instead of asking why do you keep going, you should ask why do you keep going to the beach. The patients have no concept of context. Okay? Response. Sometimes a patient will pose a question. It's okay to answer it, just in case they want a response. Do you like apples, doctor? Yes, I like apples. Or no, I hate apples. Might just break a story open for you. Contradicts. Sometimes patients contradict themselves. I hate cats. I love all animals. Call them up on this by asking about both at once. You say you love all animals but you hate cats, or hate cats, love animals. Use hints. If all else falls, use hints to find out what you could type to get a response. Okay, also ziemlich spannend, denke ich. Yes, I am sure.
The faculty thinks I've gone loopy, like some kind of spongy Mobius strip. That's why I'm here, isn't it, Dr. Dekker?
I can see people's dreams.
I've set up an experiment.
My dad is trying to hurt me.
Quantum suicide. Have you heard of it?
If I concentrate hard enough, and I know when the person's going to be asleep, I can have the dream with them.
Well, let's call him God. He creates this world for his amusement, something he can play with and occasionally alter to suit his mood.
It feels like the paintings are watching me.
Sometimes, when I walk through a door, it takes me somewhere else. Literally somewhere else.
God loves chaos, but something goes wrong. Man and woman evolve. What was once chaotic becomes, well, more ordered.
Starts as a door-to-door saleswoman. Double glazing, probably.
Dr. Dekker, I think we both know what you dreamed about last night.
I've seen its silhouette changing through the window.
Because he thinks I'm evil. Because I can see things other people can't.
On the basis that the central component of our universe is chaos, science can only document a perception of the chaos at any one given moment in time.
I did what you said, Doctor. They arrested me.
Which means that at any given moment, we can choose to alter our perception of the world, no matter how much chaos that would cause.
I thought you were supposed to fix me.
I'm telling you, it's eating people. And you're just laughing.
You're insane, Doctor.
Listen to me! You're not listening! It's your only bloody job!
Doctor, you're late. And after all those promises, never mind,
Doctor.
let's not keep the patient. You're late. And after all those promises, you're late.
Doctor, you're
and after
late.
after all those promises, never mind. Doctor, you're late. And after all those promises, never mind, let's not keep the patients waiting. And if you want anything, just... Oh, sorry, I forgot. I'm not going to be here. The police still have some questions they want to ask about, you know. And then after that, I'm dropping in to see Ben. He's still in shock, and I thought we'd show we cared. We do still care, don't we, Doctor? Good. Anyway, I hope you're all caught up on Dr. Dekker's tapes. I think Mariana is in first, but I'm sure they'll all become a blur by the end of the day. I'll see you later. Or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. I'll leave it to you then.
So, wir sind wohl immer zu spät. Okay. Wir haben Nathan, wir haben Mariana, wir haben Elin, wir haben Claire und wir haben Bryce. Mit wem fangen wir an? Irgendwie habe ich mir gedacht, dass du das antworten wirst, Molle. So, gut. Dann muss ich einfach irgendeine Question. Weißt du, Michi, weißt du noch, wie das zu spielen ist? Should follow this up. Wirklich einfach komplett Fragen eingeben.
I'm Mariana. Are you feeling okay? That's what Dr. Dekker would say. I think you're supposed to tell me what's wrong with me? Isn't that how it works? The police keep picking me up for public nudity. I black out. And then the next thing I remember, I'm naked on the beach, like I've been washed up on shore. Nobody's pressed charges yet, but I can feel it. The police are getting suspicious.
Okay, sollen wir was über die Blackouts fragen? Bevor wir mit dem Mord anfangen. Oh, englische Tastatur. Why have these blackouts?
I do suffer from blackouts, which is strange as I can hold my breath for a really long time. But I'm not swimming before I black out. Dr. Dekker thought it was anxiety originally. Then he worked it out.
Fragen wir mal, wann.
I do suffer from blackouts, which is strange as I can hold my breath for a really long time. But I'm not swimming before I black out. Dr. Dekker thought it was anxiety originally. Then he worked it out.
Okay, fragen wir mal, was ausgearbeitet hat. What did Dr. Dekker worked out?
I'm confused. Which bit should I answer first?
Ja, der Parser scheint nicht so intelligent zu sein. Did he work out?
He eventually decided it wasn't anxiety, but I'm not going to tell you his final diagnosis. We should have a fresh start. I don't want you influenced by the prognosis.
Okay, an was erinnert sie sich?
By blackout, I mean I don't really remember anything from the time I black out. I'm lucky to be alive, I guess.
Dann fragen wir mal, ob es nachts ist vielleicht.
I do suffer from blackouts, which
Okay.
is strange as I can hold my breath for a really long time.
Irgendeine Frage, die euch einfällt? Ansonsten gehen wir mal zur nächsten Stufe. Ja.
I work for myself. I make bracelets from things I find on the beach and sell them online. I spend a lot of time at the beach. It's just way more relaxing than anywhere else. You should come with me one day. I can show you all of the sights.
Ja, teasing, hä?
Dr. Dekker thought I had generalized anxiety disorder. GAD, because of the blackouts. He thought I was breathing badly. Do you think I'm breathing badly?
Ach, das Falsche.
You can check my breathing if you want. Do you want me to lie down? Can you tell just by looking at me? I'm not worried about it, just if you are. I'm not sure holding my breath too long is causing blackouts. I mean, it could, but I don't remember ever having a blackout when I'm holding my breath.
Ja, vielleicht weil sie vorher Blackout hat.
I normally black out when I'm dancing. I like dancing. Do you like dancing?
Mögen wir tanzen oder mögen wir tanzen nicht? Klar, wir tanzen gern.
Cool. I dance to anything with a beat. I dance a lot at nightclubs. I know most of the nightclubs around here. My favorite is the Pearl because they sell cheap vodka shots all night.
Hm. Ich habe so eine Vermutung, dass sie immer Hallo Big Hex. Also meine Prognose ist oder meine Vermutung ist, dass sie sich von irgendwelchen Typen abfüllen lässt, eventuell eine Droge drin ist und sie dann eben nackt am Strand aufwacht.
I don't drink.
Hm? Hat sie nicht gerade gesagt? Hat sie nicht gerade gesagt, dass die Wodka-Shots billig sind?
You think my dancing causes my blackouts? No, I know it's the last thing I remember, but I don't think it's that. Sometimes I remember more, but I'm tired now. Is that it for today? I want to stop having the blackouts. I want to stop waking up at the beach. I want to remember those entire evenings. Can you suggest anything that might help? Will you do it for me? Will you watch me to see what happens?
Was antworten wir? Also ich weiß nicht, ob es die Szene gibt, aber dann.
So, it's a date then. I'll let you know when. I film myself doing lots of things, but it's not so easy to do when you're blacked out. Well, that's why you're here, isn't it? You've replaced him. He was a good listener. I hope you are. Dr. Dekker could really get inside you. It was, unsettling. But you let him do it. Part of the process, I guess.
So, viele Fragen. Was meinst du, Beppi? Du würdest die anderen erst befragen, durcheinander? Aber ich glaube, die erste Frage sparen wir uns mal. Zweite sparen wir uns auch erstmal.
I never find my clothes. I don't know why I'm naked. When I wake up, my hair is dry, but it's pretty hot at the moment. I get baked quickly by the sun. It's possible I've been in the sea during my blackout. I hold my breath when I'm swimming underwater. Most people do. Sometimes, if I'm really excited, I'll hold my breath accidentally, just for a few seconds. I don't know why. Dr. Dekker was fine. He had good relationships with his patients as far as I know. I'm not sure why anyone would want him dead. I've been a patient here for 3 months. Today is my patient birthday. Do I get a cake or something?
Aber 3 Monate... Na, wir sind der Good Doctor.
That is so sweet. Thank you, Doctor. I love the beach.
Aber 3 Monate ist Birthday?
Kill me, I'll keep going. Have you ever been addicted to something, Doctor?
Waren wir mal addicted? Oder waren wir noch nie addicted? Ja, sind wir mal der mitfühlende Doktor, oder?
I thought so when I first saw you. We should get on great. Like you're not listening. I guess people see me and call the police. But someone will take offense eventually, and I'll be charged with indecent exposure.
Also zwei Sachen haben mich jetzt gewundert. Und da will ich doch mal kurz was eingeben. Irgendwie.
No, I don't know about that.
Das fand ich nämlich unlogisch. Und was anderes noch.
That doesn't really mean anything to me.
Sie hat doch was von Cheap Wodka erzählt. Cheap Wodka and you don't drink.
Nope. Don't know.
Ja.
I don't drink.
Ja, Wodka.
I don't drink. Wow. Let's get straight to it then. I'm not sure I feel comfortable speaking with you about that at the moment.
So, wir nehmen als nächstes. Mariana ist durch. Wir haben Claire, Bryce, Nathan und Elin. Dann Elin.
I'm Elin. I'm 25 and I'm a nurse. God, I sound like I'm on one of those dating shows. I work in a nursing home for the elderly. I basically do end-of-life care.
Ich gehe die Fragen mal durch in der Logik, wie ich sie für gut befinde.
The usual things.
Weil
Making sure
am Ende
patients are
fragen wir
comfortable.
alles.
Making sure they're not in any pain. And I talk to them. I keep them company. Some of them get pretty frightened about what's coming. Well, those of them that aren't out of it on meds. I comfort them. Death is frightening, isn't it? Isn't it what everyone's afraid of? The great unknown. No one should have to face that alone. I don't like it when patients are heavily sedated, especially when there are alternatives, like herbal remedies. I mean, imagine if you only had a few days or weeks left to live. Would you want to spend it asleep?
Na, ja oder nein? Gehen wir mal mit Nein, wir sind der starke Doktor.
Exactly. I feel like it's almost criminal. Like you're robbing people of their last moments on Earth. You should be able to savor the experience, not sleep your way to death. I'm not saying anyone should be happy about dying. I've seen lots of people die, and it's a special moment. There's literally nothing else like
Die hat ihn
it.
umgebracht.
I've known a lot of doctors over the years. Most of them arrogant idiots who think nurses are just there to do their bidding, or worse. Dr. Dekker was different.
Ja,
Had a lot of
denke
time
ich
for
auch.
me. He was interested in my problems. started seeing Dr. Dekker a few months ago. I thought it would be nice to have someone I could talk to about work. It can get a bit stressful sometimes. It can be sad sometimes. I don't like losing a patient, but that's the job. I don't get stressed about it or anything. He was a bit offbeat, but yeah, I liked him. But then I like most people. It's not the job that stresses me. It's the people I work with, the other nurses. They're mean to me. They call me the angel of death because so many patients have died on my shift. I don't think they mean it. Obviously, it's not my fault. It just seems to happen that way. Three last month. 3 the month before that, I think. But only 1 so far this month, so that's good. Although one of my patients, Hilda, I don't think she's got long. She's one of the crotchety ones. Always swearing and spitting at me. Never got anything nice to say. Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep or something. She doesn't bother me though.
Können wir fragen, ob sie das vielleicht auch wirklich tun?
I'm a qualified herbalist. It's okay, you can laugh. Most people think herbalism is a joke. But I'd much rather help my patients sleep at night with valerian or passion flower than lorazepam, temazepam or zolpidem. I'm not really looking for love at the moment. I'm sort of married to my work, but in a good way.
Ich weiß zwar nicht, wer Terry ist, aber... Ah, okay. Okay, hier steht alles drin, das ist gut.
Terry's one of the other nurses at the home. I don't think she likes me very much. I'd been seeing him for about 9 months, I think. I think it's terrible what happened to him. So awful. No one deserves to die like that.
Gut, haben wir noch irgendwelche Zusatzfragen, die wir Sie fragen können? Wie zum Beispiel...
They're old. People die when they're old.
Ich glaube, die Frage ist
medically
falsch.
speaking, it's heart failure or organ failure or pneumonia. They're all natural causes, though.
Also von ihr wissen wir jetzt, dass sie eine Schwester ist, die irgendwie alten Leuten hilft, zu sterben. Also nicht direkt, aber sie empfiehlt halt eben diese Herbals von ihr und da ist sie voll ein Fan von und in ihrer Shift sterben wohl die meisten. Und die anderen Krankenschwestern Krankenpflegerinnen sind nicht nett zu ihr. Die mobben nie. Das haben wir bisher rausgefunden und in Bezug auf den Tod. Wir können es nochmal hier...
I've known a lot of doctors over the years. Most of them arrogant idiots who think nurses are just there to do their bidding, or worse. Dr. Dekker was different. He had a lot of time for me. He was interested in my problems.
Okay, gib mal hier.
I think it's terrible what happened to him. So awful. No one deserves to die like that.
Wir wissen immer noch nicht, wie er eigentlich gestorben ist.
I don't know anything about that.
Aber du hast gesagt, die like that.
No, I don't like it. I feel lucky to share that moment with them. To be there with them when it happens. You know what I mean.
Also die ist immer noch gelb, deshalb, ich weiß noch nicht, also es gibt bestimmt noch irgendeine Frage, die wir stellen können. Aber wir müssen wohl eher in Stichworten denken, so doppeldeutige Fragen oder sowas, die verstehen die Parser nicht bei denen.
I haven't really got anything to say about that. Maybe we should talk about you. No, sorry, I don't know.
Die ist schon verdächtig, würde ich mal sagen. Fällt euch noch eine Frage ein, die wir stellen können?
I'm really bad at this, aren't I? Ask me something else.
Gut, ich glaube, wir gehen mal weiter. Wir haben noch Claire, Bryce und Nathan. Wen nehmen wir als nächstes? Okay, Bryce.
I'm Bryce Hemmings. You must be the new doctor. Did you know Dr. Dekker?
Kannten wir ihn? Ja, wir kennen ihn.
How well did you really know him? I hope you're nothing like him. I didn't really like Dr. Dekker, and for quite a few reasons, actually. I'd rather talk about my own problems for now, though, if you don't mind. Dr. Dekker would say one thing and do another. He would push me to do things I didn't want to do. He was getting worse towards the end. I'm surprised he didn't kill himself. Originally, I was suffering with depression. Work was piling up. I kept missing deadlines. I wasn't used to all the failure. I got depressed. I'm a grave digger, Doctor, and people are dying quicker than we can bury them. You'd think being a grave digger had its perks, but it can be very stressful. There's a trend going towards burial rather than cremation again, and as well as running out of space, we're running out of competent grave diggers. At least ones that can use a shovel, that is. I'm not feeling anywhere near as depressed as I used to, though. Not since I got the extra hour. At midnight each day, time as you know it freezes. In my world, it just slows down to almost a stop. But I don't. I'm free to wander around and do as I please. An hour later, normal reality continues. It's my very own midnight hour.
Kennt jemand von euch Persona 3?
In the extra hour, I mainly catch up with work. It's a godsend. Sometimes I play chess against myself. It relaxes and strengthens the mind all at once.
Okay, also der ist auf jeden Fall ein bisschen strange im Kopf.
It's a bizarre thing to know you have an extra hour every day. I rarely ever sleep until after midnight now, so I can appreciate the extra time. I get a lot of work done in that time. I'm completely caught up. The depression is no longer an issue. 25 hours is a blessing for me. But apparently, it's not real, and I'm insane for thinking it is. What do you think, Doctor? I thought it would be too early to make a diagnosis, but it's good you're having a go anyway. Henley Church, where I work, is located on an old Norman motte and bailey. You can't use mechanical diggers or excavators there in case you destroy a relic.
Okay.
I stumbled across a relic myself. An ancient chess piece. A queen, I believe. The best chess piece. The most freedom of movement. But they took it away immediately and proclaimed the whole east side of Henley Church a protected site of archaeological importance, which means we're not allowed to use it until the archaeologists have finished. I wish I hadn't told anyone.
Vielleicht hat er deshalb mit Schach angefangen.
Henley Church is relatively small. Well, for the number of bodies they expect us to pack into the ground, it's relatively small. The whole building was once owned by Scientologists, but they handed it back to the community as a tax break, I believe. Or they'd finished doing whatever it was they wanted to do with it.
Ach so, hat eine Kamera, ne?
I'm not sure I believe in any religion anymore. I used to believe in God. Not anymore. There are too many religions to pick from, don't you think?
Was ist mit dem fliegenden Spaghetti-Monster? Ja, wir finden auch, es gibt zu viele Religionen, oder?
Then we agree. Have you watched Zeitgeist, Doctor? Some of it is believable, and the part about most religions stemming from the same basic facts. It's more likely they've all got it wrong, than one of them has got it right.
Ja, genau, das
I
wollte ich
like
noch sagen.
chess. I still play sometimes when I can find an opponent. There's nothing more satisfying than planning scores of moves in advance and then watching things unfold as you saw them. I shouldn't have told anyone about the Queen. I do like to be in control, but then I suppose most people do. Nobody wants life to carry them along helplessly. Everyone wants to kick against it and make their own way. Do you like to be in control, Doctor?
Natürlich mögen wir die Kontrolle zu haben.
If you like being in control, you'll have a tough time here. I saw it with Dr. Dekker. Such control, such stability. But he unraveled at the end. He couldn't keep control of everything, of everyone. He just set us up like dominoes, but we all toppled in unexpected ways. You'll find it all out in time, Doctor. Just not today. Can't have your head exploding, can we? Yes, Dr. Dekker was murdered. Quelle surprise. Murder does seem a bit harsh, doesn't it? And another grave to dig. I know as much about it as you do. Less, I would imagine.
So.
Is that something I should know about?
Yes.
I've taken a lot of pictures. I have great shots of all the tourist sites. It's amazing what exposure you can use when moving cars are literally frozen still. Must be the sharp focus.
Haben wir neue Fragen? Wieso machen wir keine Notes mehr? Ach so, hier können wir... Ah, okay, ich habe aus Versehen die Hint-Taste gedrückt.
In the hour, people are pliable. They don't move. But I can move them. As soon as my hour is up, they start moving again, as if nothing has changed at all.
Okay, wen fragt mal als nächstes? Oder habt ihr noch eine Frage? Wenn euch eine einfällt bei Mariana oder Elin, sagt einfach Bescheid. Oder Bryce jetzt.
I don't know.
Habe ich sie falsch geschrieben? Nee, Mariana. Nochmal, nur Mariana.
I don't have anything for you.
Ja, dass Terry angerufen hat, das ist eine andere Nurse.
No, sorry. I'm a grave digger, Doctor. And people are dying.
Gut, als nächstes Nathan oder Claire? Gut, dann Claire.
My name is Claire Castleford, and as I'm paying a small fortune for these sessions, I'd expect you to be up to speed, Doctor. Being rich has its perks, but honestly, I would give it all up in a heartbeat if it could free me from this madness. Well, according to your predecessor, I'm a delusional psychotic with obsessive tendencies. Oh, and a history of violence. Sounds so cold when you put it like that, though, doesn't it? I'm obsessed with my husband. It's absurd, really. Because he is here. And he shouldn't be. Lucky to be alive. He almost died.
Oh, jetzt ist er näher rangerückt.
My husband is not a well man. We've been having problems for a while now. His health, if you can call it that, has been deteriorating rapidly in the last few weeks. I can't cope with caring for him anymore. Since our altercation, he's become less and less active. His mind's become less and less active too. Such a delightful conversationalist at one time, now more of an enigmatic husk. David has trouble looking after himself. Sometimes I'll leave the lake house and he's just sitting in the rocking chair on the porch. And when I return the next evening, he's still there, just staring into the stars. He needs help, I know, but I can't hire anybody to care for him. David's staying at the lake house. It belonged to my parents, but I don't use it much anymore. I have the main house to myself. To be fair, there was only one violent outburst. That hardly qualifies as a history of violence. And he provoked me.
Wer? Ah.
There was a brief moment of temporary insanity. Or temporary clarity, I'm not really sure which. David had been having an affair with his assistant optician, Iris. How predictable. Not just the affair, but an optician named Iris.
Nice. Ein Optiker, der Iris heißt, ja.
Iris was David's assistant optician. Not anymore. No, not like that. I didn't kill her or anything. It's just that I changed the optician into a florist after David died. Optometry was his dream, not mine. To be fair, there was only one violent outburst. That hardly qualifies as a history of violence. And he provoked me.
Okay.
I stabbed him with a steak knife.
Seems
Shocking,
normal.
isn't it? Delusions. As in seeing things that are not there. I'm not going to be any more specific. It's not true in any case. I'm not delusional. I tried to hurt David once. That's why I'm here, isn't it? I'm not proud of my behavior, but I was very angry. It was a private matter, though. The police should never have been involved. I never used to get angry. Ever. If you're angry, you're not in control. Isn't that right? And it would be very bad for me to lose control. Let's save that for another time, shall we? I'm rich, but I'm not made of money, and I'm fairly sure my time is up. The most shocking thing about Dr. Dekker's death is that he didn't bring it upon himself. But then I hadn't known him for a very long time. Perhaps I was wrong about him. Keep up, Doctor. David is my husband. The police seem to think I'm dangerous. I'm only sitting here talking to you because I have a lot of money. Otherwise, there's no doubt I'd be thrown into prison for a very long time. That's why I need your help, Doctor.
Ich bin nicht psychopathisch. Kein bisschen. Und ich werde auch nie aggressiv.
I assume they think I'm dangerous because I stabbed my husband.
Nein. So, ganz normal.
I suppose after what I did, there are people that might think I belonged in prison. What do you think, Doctor? Can I be saved with therapy, or should I be locked up like a dangerous criminal?
Bit early.
You have a lot of
Natürlich.
faith in your abilities. That's good. I look forward to being completely cured. Dr. Dekker just had that look about him. You know what they say about us crazies. Takes one to know one.
Irgendwelche Fragen, die euch noch einfallen? Ansonsten gehen wir mal über zu Nathan.
I'm Nathan Peel. I'm a supermarket worker from, well, hell, really. It's like those montages you get in movies. Time passes, you wake up, shave, if you feel like it, shower, get dressed. What's the point? You get this day over and over. Nothing changes. Am I in purgatory, Doctor? Because I'm stuck between this day and the next. Most of the time, anyway. Sometimes it looks different. Sometimes the birdsong will change, or the weather will be less bleak. Or that person who nodded at you yesterday doesn't do it today. But it doesn't usually change. You need a tragic event for change. Like a murder.
Am Ende stellt sich raus, dass alle gleichzeitig ihn umgebracht haben.
I didn't see the driver. It was my fault. I pulled out and the lorry just rammed me. Well, Hannah. She was sat next to me. I was in shock, obviously. And when I came to, she was so close to me. It was like she was trying to hug me. But it wasn't right. Not natural. It's a metal pushing through her. That was 5 years ago.
Was? War irgendein Unfall oder was? Hä, ist es irgendwie ein Bug, dass hier nur diese Sachen stehen?
I didn't see the driver. It was my fault. I pulled out and the lorry just rammed me. Well, Hannah. She was sat next to me. I was in shock, obviously. And when I came to, she was so close to me. It was like she was trying to hug me. But it wasn't right. Not natural. It's a metal pushing through her. That was 5 years ago.
Ich verstehe nicht ganz, was er mir erzählt. Jetzt verlassen mich doch meine Skills.
My fiancée, my childhood sweetheart. We met at secondary school. She was head girl, I was the quiet one. She liked computer games, so I instantly fell for her.
Und sie ist
I
gestorben,
proposed
oder
in
wie?
Goldshire. She said she didn't date elves, so I leveled up to a human necromancer and asked again. Sorry, it's Warcraft. We spent a lot of time on there. I was fine for quite a while after the accident. Well, being treated for depression. I thought I was cured. It was only recently after meeting Dr. Dekker that I had a strange deja vu. I'm exhausted. Doctor, is our time up?
Noch nicht.
I've been shrunk for that already. If I had that day again, I wouldn't make the same mistake. Hannah would still be alive. We'd probably have a family by now. I haven't had any relationships since then. Dr. Dekker's murder was sudden, brutal. It's terrible. The doctor. 2 weeks. 2 weeks I had of rolling days. No do-overs. No Monday, Monday, Monday. I wouldn't kill anyone, though. I'd have to keep doing it, wouldn't I? Few things seem to move me forward. Dr. Dekker was a complex man. I spent a lot of time with him, but he won't remember it that way.
So, ich glaube, wir haben alle durch, oder? Nee, doch noch nicht.
As far as Dr. Dekker was concerned, we had Monday, then moved on to Tuesday. But me, I had Monday 5, 10, 50 times before I got to Tuesday. I watched that Bill Murray film, Groundhog Day, to see if there's any clues. To see if there's any clues. That's how bad it's gotten. I'm looking for a cure in a Hollywood movie. Can you help me, Doctor? I don't know how, but thank you, Doctor. This is our first time around, and I trust you. I saw the conflict that Dr. Dekker was going through. Let's just say you might look back on your life and think there's nothing you would have done differently. No 2 days were alike for him in the end. Like he couldn't decide what to do with himself. He was like a kid in a sweet shop. He had so many options, he didn't know what to do. I suppose if you take too long picking, all your options run away. No, I can't move backwards any more than a day. I don't really seem to control it. It's generally always on. I have to try and change something to move forward. We played World of Warcraft a lot together. I guess it's not the cool thing to do anymore. But we had a lot of memories there. To be honest, it reminds me a lot of life now. The same thing over and over again. Bring me X bunnies to make a stew. Y badger teeth. Rinse, repeat. Maybe I'm just grinding life.
Das wäre eine gute Frage, ja.
I watched that Bill Murray film, Groundhog Day, to see if there's any clues. To see if there's any clues. I don't know. Sorry. I don't have an answer to that question, as always. I'm not really fit for work anymore. I work in produce at the local supermarket. That mainly involves lifting heavy crates of fruit and veg into place for people to buy, and doing that over and over again. My muscles don't seem to have grown much. I think that maybe I'm not aging. When the day resets, I just reset with it. I used to be a builder. I'm 57. Kidding. Just if you spent the whole day at the gym and then repeat that day and not go, you'd have achieved nothing. Most of my days a blur. I'm not sure if it's the sleeping tablets I'm on or just how I've learned to switch off. I'm on temazepam. Dr. Dekker prescribed them for me. He thought I would sleep through to a whole new day. I didn't.
So, ich glaube, wir haben alle Leute gefragt. So, das heißt... Das sind tolle Fragen, die hier als Tipps hier stehen. Wir können sie ja mal das fragen. Oder können wir überhaupt noch was fragen? Nee, irgendwie nicht mehr. Doch jetzt.
I'm not seeing anyone at the moment, if that's what you're asking. Why can't a girl go to a club on her own? I like dancing. I don't have many real friends, I suppose, but that's what happens when you move about a lot.
So, aber ist immer noch gelb. Jetzt muss ich nur noch rausfinden, wie ich zum nächsten Tag springen kann. Aber ich finde es komisch, dass nur sie hier drin steht. Und alle anderen nicht. Das sind die Fragen, die wir gefragt haben, alle. Ah, here, okay.
Oh, Doctor, glad I caught you. I thought you might want to hear what Ben had to say. Quick catch up? I'm not sure Ben will be coming in for a while. He's still pretty shook up about finding the body. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often in the line of work he's in. Anyway, he said he found the body at exactly 20 minutes past 10. For some reason, the first thing he did was look at his watch. That's all he'd say before he'd shut down. The police weren't very talkative either. Sorry, didn't you know? Ben's one of the night shift cleaners. I'm sure he's got some tales he could tell. I wouldn't say we were best friends, but we did spend a lot of time together. There's only two of us that work here. I'm sure we'll become friends too, Doctor. Just try not to get murdered.
Die können alle so schön psychopathisch gucken.
The police wanted to know what I was doing Valentine's night, you know, when the body was found. I was at home, all on my lonesome. So I guess that makes me a suspect. I think the police want you to make a short list of suspects, or maybe even find the killer. You're seeing all the patients that were on the books when he was killed. There was no forced entry, so they think it might be someone he knew, or someone who had access to the office. Yeah, like little old me. Do you think I'm a suspect, Doctor?
So, was machen wir? Verdächtigen wir sie oder nicht?
And you barely know me. I'm flattered. They did mention I needed grief counselling though, and I said you'd sort me out. I know you haven't agreed, but just so you know, it's very kind of you. I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, Ben found Dr. Dekker's body on Valentine's night in his office. In your office. Yes, you know, the 14th of February. A day of love. Or remembering a massacre. Whichever's more you. I wasn't really in his social circle, so I don't know if he had any friends. In terms of enemies, I heard things get heated in his office sometimes, but I won't name any names. Susan, Annabelle, Melissa, there are some names, but they're not names of anyone I know. He was stabbed, so that's quite a personal thing to do. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of the patients who had a problem with the treatment they were getting. I'm just surmising. If you're unhappy enough to kill your therapist, they're probably not doing a very good job. I don't know exactly, but a stabbing of some kind. We'll be getting the autopsy through at some point. I'll let you know when. I didn't see it myself, so I don't know. But I heard it was a bit of a mess with all the blood and everything. You know, they have people who clean up after such things, though, so you really can't tell, can you? But don't worry. That's a new chair. All I know is the police took his chair. Forensics, I suppose.
So, ich denke mal. Also es gibt nur sie. Deshalb. Denke ich mal, hier geht's weiter.
I'm having a loop day. It's a do-over day? You won't remember. What's the name of your assistant again? You didn't know that yesterday. Can you remember where I met Hannah? Well done, Doctor. Yeah, we met at secondary. Wouldn't it be funny if my day loops if you fail to get a question right?
So, wär's funny oder wär's nicht funny? Irgendwie wär's funny. Aber ich glaube, das ist ein bisschen zu krass. Ne, ich glaube, das ist nicht lustig.
I agree. I'm having a loop day.
Er ist schon wieder da.
It's a do-over day. You won't remember. What's the name of your... I suppose you did remember that yesterday. Can you remember where I met Hannah? Yeah, at secondary school. It's been fun, but I've got a pill. Dr. Dekker gave me this pill. He told me if I took it, I'd never have another loop day. It's got a small skull and crossbones on it. Should I take the tablet, Doctor?
Sagen wir mal lieber nein.
You're cool. I don't think this is getting us anywhere, though. I'll see you tomorrow. Again. I'm having a loop day.
Das ist geil.
It's a do-over day. You won't remember it. What's the name of your assistant again? Well done. Can you remember where I met Hannah? Yeah, great. Is there anything you can say that's going to break this loop for me? I never mentioned a pill this time, or a tablet. What the hell is going on here? Are you reliving my days? Something somewhere has changed since you arrived. Like some kind of sim theory. It's a thing. Some professor believes we could be living inside a computer simulation and someone is controlling us. And there are millions of these sims. And someone, somewhere behind a keyboard is just causing havoc. I'm starting to think you have that keyboard, Doctor. Wait, don't answer that. I don't want to know.
Voll Meta.
Midnight each day.
On Valentine's night,
Time as you know it freezes.
20 minutes past 10.
Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home,
David is my husband.
all on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death.
When I'm dancing,
You get this day over and over.
Hilda.
I black out.
I don't think she's got long.
And Laurie just...
Naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Is that it for today?
Deja vu. Are you sitting in exactly the same place I left you last night? Oh, that's where it all starts, Doctor. Anyway, do you think you can fit me in today? Looking at the diary, it's just the usual suspects, and you must be getting sick of them already. I've got this for you, too. It's some more footage from Professor Alderby that was hiding away. Well, come find me if you need anything.
So, Footage hat wohl nichts ergeben. So, wir haben Nathan, Mariana wieder. Dann haben wir Elin. Wieder Claire. Buch, kein Steakmesser, das ist schon mal gut. Bryce. Der ist schon ein bisschen Psycho. Jasmine. Die ist neu. Und Lacey auch neu. Sollen wir der Reihe nach durchgehen? Oder habt ihr irgendeinen Wunschkandidaten? Ich würde erstmal bei den alten bleiben, bevor wir noch neue Geschichten hinzufügen. Fangen wir mit ihm an. Einverstanden?
Hello again, Doctor. I had a bit of a shaky loop incident, but let's not talk about it. Yesterday, I set fire to Hannah's clothes in the garden. I just wanted the day to move forward. I instantly regretted it. And lo and behold, here we are, a new day. Hannah's clothes are a pile of ashes. I've kept almost all of her stuff as she left it. It's just the clothes. I've decided to burn those yesterday, so here I am. Hannah loved clothes. Every season, she'd donate her entire wardrobe to some charity or another, and only buy stuff she loved. I was left with winter. I don't even know what her favourite season was. Does it matter? What's your favourite season, Doctor?
So. Also wenn es nach mir geht, ich bin Herbst. Einverstanden soweit? Ihr hört mich noch, oder? Gut, dann wird's Autumn. Einverstanden?
I thought you'd be an autumn person. That means you're supposed to be grounded and productive. And you like your space. Dr. Dekker felt that Hannah was holding me back. The memories of Hannah. In his opinion, I was holding on to the past. So I guess he cursed me. If that's even a thing. Yes, Dr. Dekker cursed me. I don't really want to talk about it, but let's just say I blame him for the way I am. Can you give me some advice, Doctor? I've been trying to think how I can get past today. I've come up with a couple of choices. I could set fire to Hannah's photographs. I've got them in Dropbox anyway. But setting fire to the clothes did the trick. Or setting fire to a rocking chair. She sounds like an old lady, but she loved that rocking chair, which I've not sat in since. Which one do you think's best?
Ich denke, die Fotos sind ein bisschen sicherer.
Photographs it is then. I'll let you know how it goes. I was at Henley Church on Valentine's Day, visiting Hannah's grave. It's the anniversary of her death. Her parents wanted a huge funeral with all the trimmings. Hannah would never have come for it. It does give me somewhere to visit. I got to write the epitaph.
Okay, also Hannah und Dr. Dekker sind am gleichen Tag gestorben.
We walk alone without our angel. I'm not religious, but when I wrote Hannah's epitaph, I knew her parents would want some acknowledgement of the great bearded one. But she was an angel to me. She was an angel to everyone. I've been alone since Hannah. I can't imagine anyone ever replacing her. Not that I've looked. Do you think I should look for someone else? Okay, fine. I'll try. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for, though. Just sign up to Tinder and start swiping. Maybe it's just company I'm missing. Although I don't really want any. I left Henley Church about 11 o'clock on Valentine's Day. I was talking to an archaeologist who said it uncovered some fossils resembling a strange cephalopod-like creature. Strange place to find an octopus, really. What? Do you think I've got something to do with Dr. Dekker's murder? Maybe you should ask your assistant who Dekker saw that day. It was a missed call. It was Valentine's Day, so I wasn't in the mood for conversation. It's a sea creature, like an octopus. I suppose they find dinosaur bones everywhere. Just because we're on land now doesn't mean millions of years ago this place wasn't at the bottom of an ocean. I like winter. Being snowed in with Hannah, just the two of us. It's paradise. She's dead. Thanks for bringing that up. She was interested. Maybe I misread. Maybe she was just being kind. I suppose most women wouldn't enjoy me talking about my dead ex for hours.
Irgendwelche Fragen von eurer Seite? Ansonsten gehen wir mal wieder zu Mariana. Sind wir jetzt mal freundlich hier.
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session, and no blackouts. New doctor and new hope. You're much better behaved than Dr. Dekker. Dr. Dekker dated his patients. That's not good behavior, is it? I think her name was Scarlett? One of his patients, an older woman. I guess that's how he liked them. We went out for drinks. Didn't you know? He said it was a breach of something or the other, but I can be pretty persuasive when I want to be. Shh. I don't drink, only sometimes, like a social drinker. Like a social smoker. They don't smoke either.
Mm-hmm.
It was Valentine's Day. I drink on special occasions. I know, it's pretty hard to believe, isn't it? I feel pretty ugly. But I think I have a nice smile.
So, ich denke, das war Fishing for a Compliment. Gehen wir mal drauf ein.
Lots of people find me attractive, but I've seen something truly beautiful. It makes me feel dull by comparison. I have a recurring dream where I find something beautiful in the sea. But I don't know you that well yet, Doctor. Let's wait a while before I tell you my most intimate secrets.
Sorry to cut in, Doctor. I've just had a phone call from a solicitor. Ben's trying to sue us for nervous shock. Should I go and see him to talk it out, or should I find a solicitor to represent us? Sorry to be pushy, I just think we should act quickly before it's too late. Okay, well, just let me know.
Mich auch. Ich war auch erschrocken. Ayana war auch erschrocken.
Wouldn't you like to know? Is our session up now?
Not yet.
We went out for Valentine's Day. Neither of us had dates, so I just suggested we go out together. You know, rather than just sit in with nothing to do. He'd been acting a bit strange anyway, and I thought he could do with a break. I was with Dr. Dekker until about 9 o'clock. I remember getting an Uber. It was expensive, and the driver was annoying. I saw one of your patients, actually, the nurse, when we drove by the pier. She was with someone. I don't think she saw me.
Uh-huh.
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session. Kind of missed it. You do something a lot, you're gonna miss it. I suspect I'll go back there soon, but it's helped with the blackouts. Yeah, the Uber driver also fished down by the sea. He said he'd seen me lots of times after I washed up. And he told me that I had a great body. Just wanted to get home. I don't know anything else about the driver. I've forgotten him already. I've danced around in my living room, but no clubs since last time. I like dancing around in my underwear. Sometimes less. I have no idea. I just went home. I guess he probably came back here if that's where they found him.
So schön, always teasing here.
People are quick to put labels on everything.
Sorry.
I suppose Dr. Dekker was more than just a therapist to me. We had a lot of things in common, but we weren't seeing each other. I'm not seeing anyone at the moment. Are you offering, Doctor?
Was machen wir? Offern wir uns oder nicht? Ich lasse es eure Entscheidung sein. Sobald ihr entschieden habt, geht's weiter. Aber schön, so habe ich Zeit, mir Tee einzuschenken. Weiß nicht, gibt's nicht. Wer die Qual hat, hat die Wahl. Also, Molle, du musst jetzt entscheiden. Okay.
It sounded like an offer to me, Doctor.
So.
I haven't had a great day, to be honest. Someone accused me of stealing from my patients, which I would never do. Plus, Hilda's getting worse.
Also die wurde gesehen am Pier. Zumindest behauptet das mal jemand.
This? Well, it started with this. It's a locket. Alice, one of my patients, gave it to me before she died. I have a few other things. A watch, a ring. One patient gave me a little china bird. They're not valuable, just trinkets, really. Strictly speaking, all of the patient's belongings should be passed on to family members after they die. But Alice's son never visited. He didn't care about his mum. Why would he care about some worthless piece of jewellery? It just doesn't feel right to me. What do you think, Doctor? Am I wrong to keep the locket?
Ich denke mal eindeutig, oder? Seid ihr auch dafür, dass es falsch ist, das zu behalten?
Really? I don't see the harm. Alice wanted me to have it. You and Terry and all the other nurses just don't understand. Hilda's the one I mentioned in our last session. She's dying. I can tell. I need to see her before it's too late. Help her finish her unfinished business. People who are dying always have things they wish they could do before they go. We leave a lot of loose ends in our lives. We're very messy that way. Hilda wants to see her daughter. She's in Australia, so I'm going to have to use my talent. I can change my skin. What I look like. I can turn into a patient's loved one. I just hold their hand and ask them to imagine that the person they want to see is sitting right here next to them, and I become them. It's how I help them move on. That's how I comfort them. I only shift at work to help my patients. I don't have any interest in using it as a party trick or to deceive anyone. Yes, I had a session with Dr. Dekker on Valentine's Day. 3 o'clock, I think. Just a few hours later, he was... I still can't get over it. Actually, I had a hot date. It wasn't anything serious, just some guy I know. But it was a nice date, different to what I'm used to. It was very traditional, old-fashioned, you know? Dinner at a nice restaurant. Then we went for a little walk along the pier, held hands, had a bit of a kiss.
Okay,
then he called
up.
a cab, and I went home, alone. I think it was about 11 when I left Max. I'm sure you could check with the taxi company if you really wanted to, if you think I need an alibi. Of course, it was Terry that accused me of stealing. One of the other nurses. She's actually trying to make out that I'm some kind of HSK.
What is HSK? Weiß das jemand von euch?
Healthcare serial killer. You know, like those nurses that kill loads of their patients. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. Anyway, because a few of my patients have died on me, and some of those patients have given me gifts, Terry thinks it means that I've been killing them off. His name is Max. He's really sweet, but I don't see a future between us. He's not really my type. I've known Max a couple of years, but this is the first time we've been on a date. I don't think he's boyfriend material.
Mein Kater meldet sich hier gerade. Was ist denn los? Huh?
Dr. Dekker seemed fine on Valentine's Day. He seemed to be in a good mood. It didn't seem like anything was bothering him. I can sense it, you know? It's like when you're outside and there's a sudden change in the light or the air feels different and you know it's going to rain. It's like that. I always know when one of my patients is fading, even before the doctors know. Their energy changes. It sounds silly when I put it into words. I sound like my mum.
Das sieht jetzt aus, als wenn ich einen Witz erzählen wollte.
That's not really important. Ask me something else.
Ja, ich habe was Falsches getippt. Sekündchen.
My mum's a nightmare. I said she was into all this new age stuff, right? So she thinks she can tell me what I should be doing all the time because she got a message from her spirit guide that said I'm not eating well, or I'm not getting enough sleep, or I'm not looking after my inner moonbeam or whatever. It drives me nuts. But she's my mum. I love her, so I have to take it.
New Age.
Sorry, no.
Do you believe in New Age?
I think we've got a bit off track. Maybe you should check your notes.
Okay, checken wir mal. Okay, mir fällt keine Frage mehr ein im Moment. Euch? Wenn ja, könnt ihr es ja reinschreiben. Ich fange mal mit unserer Steakmessermörderin an. Mach mal weiter.
It's the anniversary of my parents' death today. I went to the lake house. I always go to the lake house anyway, but it's also where they died.
Okay, eine Menge Leute sind irgendwie an einem Tag gestorben.
I stood for a while, looking across the water. It's peaceful there. It's the place that makes me feel the most. There was a girl there, by the lake, only about 9 or 10. She was fishing, if you can call it that, with one of those nets on a stick. I don't know why I talked to her. She looked sad. I don't usually talk to children, but she seemed different, special. I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I, Doctor? Good. It felt nice. I felt like I was being nice. I felt human. So I can find her and talk to her again, Doctor? David had been hunting again, and, well, she's seen some of the skins he hung around the lake house. Animal skins. David hunts, then skins. It's horrible, really. He's not really good at either job, so the skins still have great lumps of bloody carcass hanging off them. I'm sure he'll get better with practice.
So, wollen wir, dass sie noch mal mit dem Mädchen redet oder wollen wir nicht, dass sie mit dem Mädchen redet? Weil unsere Antwort bleibt, bis wir antworten. Lang frage ich mal weiter.
David wasn't there. Or at least I didn't see him. I didn't go inside. I forgot my key, and the spare was missing.
Okay, dann.
Then I will. I'll look for her next time I'm there. They died of carbon monoxide poisoning. I was staying at a friend's house. Otherwise I would have died too. day Dr. Dekker was killed. I had a session with him in the morning at my usual time, 11 o'clock. That was the last time I saw him. Dr. Dekker made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I'll be taking it to the grave with me, though. As did he. I don't know. I suppose she just reminded me of me. I spent a lot of time alone as a child. She said she was trying to catch some strange creatures that she's seen in the water. I don't know. Minnows, probably. Everything's strange when you're a child. It was 12 years ago. I was still very young. Too young to be an orphan, anyway. I had to toughen up quickly. Met isn't the right word. David has always been there, in the shadows, on the periphery. I move in very exclusive circles. You tend to see the same faces. I don't move in any circles anymore. Those people were my parents' friends, not mine. Love? Yes. I suppose I always will. Valentine's Day night, I was at the lake house, watching David, like I always do. He has trouble with his mental faculties and is getting worse. Yes. I watch him and make sure nothing bad happens.
So, ich würde gern noch ein bisschen darüber wissen, warum sie auch gestorben wäre. Wow.
Are you bored? Do you want me to talk about something else?
Versteht die Frage nicht.
Sorry, I don't know anything about that.
Gut. Dann gehen wir weiter zu unserem 11th Hour. Oder 13th Hour eigentlich. The Midnight Hour hat das genannt, genau.
There's something I want to tell you about. Something else that's wrong with me. I think I've been getting a bit out of control in my hour. When I first got the hour, I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen and only I could move, because I live on my own. What would you do, Doctor, if you had an hour where everyone was frozen? Go to a fairground?
Was würden wir denn tun? Ja, wir sind Arzt, wir würden Leuten helfen natürlich.
I did think, what good could I do, other than catch up with work? I did see a woman who was having her purse snatched, so I gave her purse back, and the crook, I placed him on a bus a few blocks away. I have no idea where it was going. She'd never really be able to thank me, so I took another picture. Possibly a relative of yours. Possibly a patient that died here. I'm not sure. She doesn't normally say anything. Ha! That was just an example, Doctor. I'm sure you can come up with more exciting things to do than that. Well, That makes me feel a little better. There's a young mother, divorced, who lives opposite me. Jessica. She's friendly and says hello to me, smiles. I've always wondered what she looks like naked. So 1 hour, I broke into her house. She was standing in her bedroom. I took it as a sign. I took off her clothes and... I took photos of Jessica when she was naked. When I'd stripped her. When she was naked and frozen. I didn't want to have to do it again, to strip her again. So I took pictures to remind myself what she looked like.
Der ist ja nett.
That's wrong, isn't it, Doctor? I know. It's that bloody Dr. Dekker. He made me this way. It's all his fault. Like I said, I originally presented with depression, and everything was going well for a while. Then Dr. Dekker changed. He was easily distracted during sessions, like he wasn't listening. I'm pretty sure he wasn't listening half the time. I don't think he wanted to know about his patients anymore. But when he did give you advice, he told me to use my imagination, to make something up, to think something crazy, and it would become real. He told me to think of a way to get more time. So I did. But he pushed me. He made me think it. Yes, I would steal too. And I have stolen. I ran out of milk, so I thought I'd go to the local all-night shop and get some more. I was absolutely intending to pay, but when I got there, everyone was frozen. I thought about leaving money on the counter, but that seemed weird. The cashier would wake and suddenly this money would have appeared from nowhere. But I've stolen bigger things.
Oops.
From stealing milk, I moved on to petrol. From petrol, well, all those supermarkets have all kinds of electricals, so I've stolen quite a lot of that. I'm not proud. I think I've been doing it because I can, to prove to myself either way, my extra hour is actually real. I dug the grave for Dr. Dekker. I helped carry his coffin to the burial site. Do you know what? It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it. Why do you think that is? No, the coffin wasn't empty. There was something in it. A decoy, I'd imagine. I'm guessing he was buried somewhere else, or cremated. Somebody somewhere didn't want his body going in the ground. Do you want to be cremated or buried, Doctor?
Nice question. So, was wollen wir? Wir wollen begraben werden, oder? Also nach der einen Doctor Who-Folge ist es wahrscheinlich besser.
If you're buried, people can bring you back. You don't want to see people when they've come back. I spent most of Valentine's Day at the art gallery. Well, the evening part, anyway. They had a display with the theme, Love Conquers All. I didn't get most of the paintings, but they were well done. Yes, I suppose I've destroyed a few things whilst in the hour. You can be the perfect supervillain. Nobody knows it was you. That wretched dig goes on 24/7. 25/7, if you ask me. Your patient, Nathan, caused quite a stir. He interrupted one of the female students all night, apparently. Made her miscategorize some findings, going on about his dead girlfriend. It's amazing what you hear at the coffee machine. Well, I suppose that's a bonus. We're allowed to use their coffee machine while they're there. Because you have to hope, don't you, Doctor? It's only the power of hindsight that made me realize how toxic it all was. And after a point, you go too far to be able to come back anyway.
So, irgendwelche Fragen noch an unseren Mr. Peeping Tom? On to Jasmine. Die ist schon gelb.
I'm Jasmine. I don't come in that often. What happened to Dr. Dekker? Oh. When? How? Sorry, you probably don't know, do you?
Die Ampel unten ist gelb. Das heißt, wir haben schon was über sie rausgefunden. Oder es gibt heute nichts rauszufinden.
Ouch. I didn't really know him that well. I'm trying to remember what I was doing on Valentine's Day now. We had a display in the gallery based on Love Conquers All, so I had to work. Mainly it was a collection of giant hearts sat on things, but I ran into another patient, Bryce. I'd never really spoken with him before, but he's quite an art critic. I couldn't get rid of him until I finished work at 11. There's actually another guy who takes over on the night shift. I'm not sure if he kept talking to Bryce though. Providence is open 24 hours.
Das ist die, oder? Das ist die Marianne. Nur mit blonden Haaren. Oder?
I don't know.
Ah. Die falsche Taste gekommen hier. Hä? Nee, irgendwie nicht auf die falsche Taste gekommen, nur meine Tastatur ist zu langsam.
Clueless.
Nothing, of course. The faculty thinks I've gone loopy, like
Ich guck
some
mir gerade
kind
das
of
Footage
spongy
an.
Mobius strip. That's why I'm here, isn't it, Dr. Dekker? Him, God, the great old one, the elder god, Cthulhu, however you address him. Listen to me! You're not listening! It's your only bloody job! Well, let's call him God. He creates this world for his amusement, something he can play with and occasionally alter to suit his mood. God loves chaos, but something goes wrong. man and woman evolve. What was once chaotic becomes, well, more ordered. Without chaos, he has less power. When there's too much order, he becomes impotent. So he needs to instill chaos again. And do you know how he does this? No. And yes, but you're being too granular. He needs chaos so he can return, and the only thing stopping him is you. Not just you. You and people like you. Psychiatrists, doctors, nurses. Anyone who is caring for people who are losing their sanity. You have no comprehension how important your job is, do you? He doesn't need your version of insanity to spread. He needs chaos. It's not the same. It's just a means to an end. They're not all cultists, unfortunately. Once you see the truth, it's hard not to spread chaos yourself, to cause further insanity and harm your own. I doubt it. But can I make you question your reality? Definitely. But in doing so, I would be promoting more chaos. On the basis the central component of our universe is chaos, science can only document a perception of the chaos at any one given moment in time, as by definition, chaos is unpredictable from one moment to the next, which means that at any given moment, we can choose to alter our perception of the world, no matter how much chaos that would cause. In 10 seconds' time, there will be no gravity in this room, and we will float. 3, 2, 1. You think nothing happened. Where's your glass, Doctor?
Vielleicht fragen wir ihn mal über Jasmine. Beschreibt sie sich? Jasmine.
I don't know.
Wie?
I don't have anything to say to that.
There's not much to tell. I knew he was a patient here. I'd seen him in the waiting room a couple of times. He likes art and talking and looking down here instead of up here. When you see a painting, it stands still. When I see one, it's moving, like a mini film, like little vines. But when there's a person in the painting, they watch me, normally disapprovingly. Because they don't think I know how to appreciate art, because I'm too young. Yes, of course. Otherwise I wouldn't be working in an art gallery. I love art. I love paintings. Like I said, they move for me. When I want them to, normally. When I want to really get inside what's going on. But some paintings, I can't stop. I've been working on portraits, at home, outside work. But my paintings aren't so good. Nowhere near Providence standard. I painted a man, Dorian. You know, after Dorian Gray. I wanted to try and capture someone aging, so I divided the face into thirds and painted a boy, his father, and his grandfather in each third. It was hideous. And it started talking to me. That I'm ugly, that I have no talent, nothing will become of me. Is that true, Doctor? I hear it so many times from that wretched painting. It's in my head. But thank you. He was shy, and then less so. When I told him about my problem, he told me to set fire to it. Yeah, he could have been more specific. I tried to set fire to Providence. At that time, I thought the only way to fix my problem was to set fire to the entire art gallery. Several paintings didn't make it. Luckily, my boss didn't press charges. The police did arrest me, though. My boss, Petra, she's just lovely like that. Providence has gone through some tough times, and I've only been there a year. She invested her life savings, and it's still not making any money. Such a sweet lady. You'd do anything for her. Dr. Dekker told me to burn it. It was nothing to do with Petra. No. Why are you saying that? I don't even know if Petra has insurance. I already ripped up the painting. It screamed as I cut it. And now whenever I close my eyes, I can see it, hear it. I need the tablets, Doctor. I need them. The temazepam, the sleeping tablets. The ones you gave me last time. Dr. Dekker gave them to me. They helped. I know it's in my head. I know paintings can't talk. What's wrong with me, Doctor? Why do I do this? Thank you, Doctor. I'll think about that. And the prescription, please?
Jetzt haben wir die auf grün, aber
I don't really have anything to say about that.
wir können ja mal fragen.
I don't know.
She don't know. Ich glaube, sie hat nichts mehr zu sagen, weil sie ist jetzt auf grün. Aber, doch.
That's not something I know about.
Ist dann ein neuer dazugekommen? Oh, sie können. Achso, sie wollte sie wollte ja selbst therapiert werden, okay.
I'm Lacey Hendricks. So you don't know about me then?
Oh Gott.
Where to start? My next door neighbour in Jobson Hill, where I live, she was murdered. 80, and they diversion burgled her. But she was wise to it and started calling the police. They slit her throat with a bread knife. So I started a neighbourhood watch. was me and Agnes. Everyone else thought we were overreacting. If they want their throats cut, that's up to them, living in their bubbles. But Agnes... Poor Agnes. She went missing, and still is. And that's what people think. But it's not the truth. It killed them. It looks normal enough. A smartly dressed, door-to-door saleswoman. I know because I heard my other neighbours shout at her. No Jehovah's! They think anyone knocking is a Jehovah. But she said she was selling double glazing. I don't know. I didn't answer the door. Best not to nowadays. But I watched her go to Agnes's. Poor Agnes. She let her right into her house. I could only see the silhouette. It turned from a person into a, well, it looked like, I guess you'd call it a Medusa. Snakes for her face. And Agnes just fell to the floor. A few minutes later, the woman left, smiling like the cat that got the cream. That was the end of Agnes. I saw it with my own eyes. What more proof do I need? You're starting to sound like Dr. Dekker. He didn't believe me either. I didn't have much luck with him, like I said. He didn't believe me. He thought I was having a hallucination caused by the stress of my neighbour being so brutally murdered. Where is Agnes, though? I haven't found her, have they? Have they?
Was soll man sagen? Wir wissen es ja gar nicht.
I was at Henley Church. They had a service that ran right up till midnight. For us less fortunates without a love in their life. Well, now. Do you have someone, Doctor? Do you have a love in your life? Garden club. You should come with me one night. It's a lovely way to meet new people. What? That can't be possible. Is that true? Why don't I know about it then? When was this then? Is she alive? Her useless husband is? Don't know much about him, other than the fact that he looks at me like I'm 6 foot under every time we meet. He doesn't seem too bothered she's gone missing either. He did at first, when the police were crawling around. But now they've gone, that stopped. If I hadn't seen that thing eat her, I'd... No. He's a weaselly little man who spends far too much time in his garden. It's probably like the National Trust back there. The constant digging and building, pruning and sawing. What a thing to say! Why would you say that? I kept watching the front door after that saleswoman had left and nothing. She didn't leave, and you can't get out the back since the council sold the garage block. Ron's a gardener, not a killer. Unless... Agnes said Ron was laying the foundations for a new greenhouse. You don't think... I need to call the police. I need to call them now. But they won't listen to me. I tried to tell them about the monster, but they didn't believe me. They won't believe me about this, I promise you. Please, could you call them, Doctor?
Das klingt alles sehr merkwürdig. Sollen wir die Polizei anrufen oder nicht? Weil momentan wissen wir ja noch gar nicht, ob sie sich diese Agnes vielleicht auch nur einbildet. Ja.
I'll get someone else to do it. I suppose I shouldn't really expect any help from you. Dr. Dekker used to call me the leech lady. He said that I leech thoughts from people, suck them right out of their heads. And I can put thoughts in there too. I'm not that clever though, am I, Doctor? I mean, it's not as if I was having an affair with Ron and Agnes was in the way and needed to disappear. So I made this story up. I mean, what do you think I do for a living anyway? Doctor, you're so good. We're going to get on just fine.
So, should I get a solicitor, or shall we try and talk it out with him? Good choice. I'll go and see Ben to see if I can get him to call off the dogs. I have no idea what's gotten into him. Perhaps it's his mum. Hey you, thanks for helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it though. I don't really know where to start. I feel a bit numb. Maybe we should just talk about him. It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you've fitted in. I mainly miss our chats. He used to work late with me and tell me things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did. What do you think of the patients? Nah, perhaps you shouldn't say. You can ask me. Go on, I'll tell you what I think. Mariana is a special girl. You know, there's something about her that just makes you want to follow her. Maybe that's what a trendsetter looks like.
Man kann über die Jasmine gar nichts fragen.
I think Bryce has a lot of misdirected anger. I don't think I like him that much. You know, sometimes when things overrun, he's outside waiting for you, and he stares at me as if he's undressing me with his eyes. You know, he's not the first person that's done that, but still, you know, it feels worse coming from him. Claire seems to be shaken by something. You know, I offer her drinks every time she comes in, but she always refuses them. It's as if she just wants to come in, get her session over with, and then run off to do something else. It's a bit rude, isn't it? Elin seems like a lovely person. I'm not really sure why she's here.
Nochmal kurz gucken. Ah ja. Habe ich doch die richtige im Kopf gehabt.
Oh, I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. You know, he barely talks to me though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom. Tom was a quiet mess, like Nathan. Youngish, in his early 20s. He taught piano, but he did have a strange hobby. Tom liked to base jump. That's basically falling from a huge building or mountain and pulling your parachute before you hit the ground. He started to think he could fly. Dr. Dekker tried to talk him out of it, but Tom had to prove his point. So one day, Tom decided to base jump without a parachute. Can you guess what happened? He did die. He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock. I wish I'd said goodbye. I wish I'd said goodbye to Dr. Dekker. It was so sudden. You know, here, then gone. He resigned anyway, but that's not the same, is it? Dr. Dekker resigned shortly before his murder. No, it's sad. But doctors come and go and only poor Jaya remains. I've got his resignation letter somewhere. You know, I do all the hiring and firing around here. Well, Professor Alderby and the Trust technically do that. Professor Alderby is a trustee. Did I not mention that? We'd work late together on all sorts of things. He was preoccupied with finding patterns in patients, trying to find some kind of order. Mainly he was searching for a common experience the patients might have had. That's what led them to his office. He'd study everything, even the referral letters. Yes, letters, holiday destinations. You know, I find those referral letters. He was sure there was a pattern in them. On Valentine's Day, Dr. Dekker had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse, Elin, at 3. Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr. Dekker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange. She was cuddling him like he was 6. He's 25. Most of the patients are suspects, according to the police. Almost all the patients are referred, and some of them are privates, but Dr. Dekker didn't introduce any of them. So you watched the tapes. Gold star for you. It smashed.
So, sieht aus, als wenn wir alle Fragen gestellt hätten. Bei ihr wolltest du, Webby, noch was fragen? Du wolltest nochmal hier Drug Abuse.
Beats me.
So, nothing. Habt ihr noch irgendeine Frage? Oder zum nächsten Tag? Dann wollen wir schauen, was gesagt wird und dann machen wir langsam Feierabend. Denn wir spielen auch schon wieder relativ lang. Die Sessions werden länger zum Ende hin. Also aus 1,5 Stunden sind jetzt mal 2,5 Stunden geworden. Next day, einverstanden?
David Hunt,
I can change my skin.
then skins.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients.
I had a hot date.
We went out for drinks.
I took photos of Jessica.
Dr. Dekker did
On
phone
Valentine's Day.
and ask me for Nathan's number.
There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I?
He was preoccupied with finding
Photographs,
patterns.
rocking chair.
I haven't been back to the beach since,
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident.
where I find something
I set fire
beautiful in the sea.
to Hannah's clothes in the garden.
I dug the grave.
I wish I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Dekker cursed me.
It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it.
Oh, Doctor, you surprised me. Reminds me of Officer Yates. Did I ever mention I had a special friend in the police force? Nah, it's not something you drop politely into a conversation. He's been doing some digging and he's found a couple things. There's a crime scene report that goes into all the gory details and another report that's about a patient you're seeing today, Claire. I'll put them both on the desk for you. And thanks for the grief counselling, by the way. It's really been helping, you know, I'm so glad you're here.
So, was ist was ist eure Meinung zum Spiel? Also ich find's auch super. Also wer von euch das Spiel nicht kennt, das kann man auf Steam kann man das spielen. Das heißt Her Story. Und ich empfehle euch das Spiel. Also es geht ungefähr, deshalb habe ich gedacht, wir kommen heute wahrscheinlich durch, weil Her Story geht vielleicht 1 Stunde 20 Minuten oder sowas. Ich glaube, dass wir noch nicht mal die Hälfte rausgefunden haben. Genau, das ist die goldene Frage. Am Ende waren es wir oder sowas. Also, wir wissen wirklich noch gar nichts eigentlich, also, aber wir verdächtigen wild die Leute durch. Jeder hat irgendwie einen Knacks oder haben sie vielleicht keinen Knacks? Weil diese Time Loop, die da am Anfang war, nach Tag 1, die fand ich voll abgefahren. Also, da ist mehr und das mit dem Glas, das zerbricht, fand ich auch interessant mit der Gravity. Also scheint wohl doch mehr zu sein, als wir glauben. Und ja, jetzt ist natürlich die Frage, wir sollen was machen. Molle, was machst du eigentlich morgen um 14 Uhr? So von 14 bis 16 Uhr. Weil die Frage ist nämlich, ob ich nicht morgen von 14 bis 16 Uhr Erika weiterspiele. 13 bis 15 Uhr geht bei mir auch. Also ich könnte morgen um 13 Uhr könnte ich Erika weiter streamen, wenn ihr das möchtet. Also Erika haben wir am Tag Nummer 5? Nee, es war später, ne? Tag Nummer 8? Ich weiß es gar nicht mehr. Also, ich glaube irgendwas, ich glaube nach Full Throttle war das, oder? Ich bin mir nicht mehr ganz sicher. Aber auf jeden Fall, da habe ich das gestreamt und wir waren wohl irgendwo bei der 50% Marke circa. Laut Webby, und ich würde es dann weiterspielen. Ja, also nachher kann ich nochmal in Stream Manager gucken, an welchem Tag das war. Aber dann würde ich das nämlich morgen um 13 Uhr würde ich dann den zweiten Teil streamen. Ich weiß nicht, ob wir es bei dem vielleicht genauso machen, dass ich den auch irgendwann nochmal weiter streame. Ich finde es echt super spannend und also mir gefällt diese Art von Story auch ziemlich gut, oder diese Art von Spiel, weil das so langsam alles rauskommt, nach und nach, und immer wieder kommt was Neues ans Tageslicht und dann wird man doch wieder auf die falsche Fährte gelenkt. Sowas finde ich super. Und ich empfehle euch Her Story an der Stelle, weil echt ein guter Titel. Und man muss aufpassen als Spieler, also man fühlt sich durchaus clever, wenn man das spielt. Gut, aber dann würde ich sagen, das war's jetzt erstmal für heute. Wir haben wieder mal deutlich überzogen von der ursprünglich angedachten, ich suche mir irgendein Spiel raus und spiele es 1 Stunde lang. Es sind jetzt doch 2,5 Stunden wieder geworden und gestern waren es auch schon 3,5 Stunden. Aber ich habe ja jetzt auch Urlaub, von daher habe ich da viel mehr Zeit. Ich bin gespannt, was es morgen für ein Türchen, was im morgigen Türchen, im Türchen Nummer 20 drin ist. Wir haben noch 5 Titel insgesamt, 20, 21, 22, 23 und 24. Ich bin gespannt, was es wird. Es ist witzig, dass immer noch die 2 Top-Titel drin sind, oder die 2 top-beliebten Titel. Das eine, das teaser ich, glaube ich, jedes Mal an. Das ist ein super gruseliger Titel. Den haben wir noch nicht gespielt. Und zum anderen gibt es noch einen AAA-Titel, den ich drin habe in der Liste. Und ich bin gespannt, was es morgen wird. Auf jeden Fall um 13 Uhr gibt es Erika Teil 2. Also Erika 1 Teil 2. Es gibt, glaube ich, kein Erika 2. Und dann würde ich sagen, wünsche ich euch noch einen schönen Abend, einen gemütlichen Samstagabend. Habt Spaß, ruht euch aus, guckt was Tolles an oder spielt was Schönes. Super, Dankeschön. Bis dann. Ciao, ciao.